Be me, Sarah, 34, Director of Inclusive Innovation at Blue Horizon Dynamics. Based in San Francisco, the Google of deep sea exploration. Company just secured the contract of the century. Project Æthelgard, a joint venture with the Norwegian government to survey the Mons Ridge. Rare earth minerals, geothermal vents, basically $1 trillion sitting on the ocean floor. Usually, these missions are run by ex-Navy types. Buzz cuts, tobacco chew, testosterone poisoning? Not this time. Julian, our CEO, wants to make a splash, pun intended. Decides the first manned descent to the active vent field will be an all-female crew. Breaking the surface ceiling. Naturally, I'm tapped as mission commander. My background is in sociological impacts of maritime law and corporate HR strategy. Never been in a sub deeper than the Finding Nemo ride at Disney. Doesn't matter. Leadership is transferable. Technical skills can be delegated. It's about vision, empathy, and challenging the status quo. Spoiler alert, the ocean doesn't care about my empathy. Fast forward to October. We're in Tromsø, boarding the RV Jacques Polaris. State-of-the-art research vessel, helipad, ROV bays, espresso machines. The team is assembled. Be me, Commander Sarah. Maya, 26, lead marine biologist, specializes in shallow water algae, but water is water, right? Chloe, 29, digital storyteller, social media manager holding a GoPro. Dr. Eris Thorne, 32, structural engineer, academic tenure, wrote a book on theoretical submersible hulls, never held a wrench. We look amazing in the press photos. Matching teal jumpsuits, confident poses. The caption, "The future is fluid." 50K likes on Instagram in an hour. Enter the problem. Chief of Operations, Jackson Jack Halloway. 58, skin like leather, hands like vice grips. Spent 30 years in the North Sea doing saturation diving. Looks like he eats scrap metal for breakfast. He's been demoted to logistical support to make room for me. Sitting in the briefing room, the air smells like stale coffee and impending conflict. I'm presenting the dive plan via keynote. Nice transitions, inspiring quotes. We will descend to 800 meters, mapping the hydrothermal vents while live streaming to classrooms worldwide. Halloway raises a hand, missing half a finger on the left one. Sarah, he rumbles, voice like gravel in a blender. I've reviewed the loadout for the Asterisk Siren Submersible. Here we go. The mansplaining begins. The battery density calculations are based on temperate water ratings. At that depth in the Arctic Circle, thermal efficiency drops by 40%. Also, the new acrylic viewing dome you ordered? It's rated for 3,000 meters, but the safety factor is only 1.2. Standard is 2.5. I smile, the one I practiced in the mirror. Jack, I appreciate your old-school caution. But the Siren is a next-gen vessel. We're using carbon fiber composites, not heavy steel. And as for the batteries, we're pulsing the thrusters to conserve energy. It's a more holistic approach to power management. Halloway stares at me. Dead eyes. Holistic thruster pulsing? Physics doesn't give a damn about your approach, Sarah. You hit a thermocline at 2,000 meters, that acrylic gets brittle, you run out of juice, you don't float up. You stay down. We have run the simulations, Dr. Eris pipes up, adjusting her glasses. The computer models show a 98% success rate. Computer models don't account for the Mons Ridge currents, Halloway counters. It's a washing machine down there. I cut him off. Jack, your negativity is noted, but this mission is about showing that we don't need to rely on outdated, fear-based methodologies. We are launching tomorrow at 0600. Halloway stands up. I'm logging a formal descent in the ship's manifest. I won't sign off on the safety check. Fine, I say, heart pounding but face calm. I'll sign it myself. I have override authority. He walks out. Shakes his head. Good luck, Commander. Sounded more like a eulogy. That night, I'm in my cabin. Nevertheless, she persisted, sticker on my laptop. Checking the weather reports. Sea state is rough, but manageable. Get a text from Maya. Hey, looking at the oxygen scrubber specs. Are we sure we have enough soda lime canisters? Jack left a note saying we need double. I reply instantly. Jack is trying to scare us. We have the standard load. Don't let him get in your head. You got this. I didn't check the specs. I assume the standard load is fine. Why would the manual be wrong? Launch day. Freezing cold, sky the color of a bruised plum. The Stanford siren hangs off the A-frame crane. Sleek, white, beautiful. Looks like an iPhone designed to go underwater. Chloe is filming a TikTok. Hey guys, we're about to make history. Hashtag Deep Divas. We climb in. It's tight. Smells like new car and anxiety. I take the pilot's seat. Joystick in hand, touch screens everywhere. No analog gauges. Holloway argued for analog backups. I told him digital was the future. Cleaner interface, less clutter. Hatch seals shut. That heavy summon-tooth of steel on rubber. Radio crackles. Bridge to siren. You are clear for launch. It's not Holloway on the comms. It's Kevin, the junior comms officer. I specifically requested Holloway be off the bridge during the dive. Didn't want his negative energy distract NG the team. Copy that, bridge, commencing descent. The crane lowers us. Water rushes over the dome. The world turns blue, then dark blue, then black. 100 meters. 200 meters. Systems green, I say, voice steady for the camera recording us. Internal pressure nominal. 500 meters. Dr. Eris is looking at the hull integrity sensors. Carbon fiber is holding perfectly. Strain is within expected tolerances. See? Holloway was just a dinosaur. Afraid of new materials. 1,000 meters. It gets cold. Really cold. Condensation starts forming on the acrylic dome. Can we turn up the heater? Chloe asks, shivering in her jumpsuit. Negative, I say. Conserving battery for the bottom time. Just put on your fleece layer. 500 meters. A loud cop echoes through the sphere. Sounds like a gunshot. Maya screams. Chloe drops the GoPro. What was that? I feel a spike of adrenaline. Eris, report. Eris is typing furiously. Sensors didn't pick up a breach. Might have been the composite settling. Delamination sounds different, I think. You think? It's fine. It's just the hull adjusting to the pressure. Theoretical models predicted acoustic settling. Okay. Theoretical models. We keep going. 2,000 meters. We hit the thermocline Holloway warned about. The temp drops to near freezing instantly. The sub lurches. Violent turbulence. Whoa! I wrestle the joystick. The thrusters whine. Stabilizing, I yell. But the sub feels heavy. Sluggish. Battery levels? I look at the screen. 65%. We started at 100% 2 hours ago. Why is it dropping so fast? Eris looks pale. The cold. It's affecting the electrolyte efficiency. We're losing charge faster than the algorithm predicted. Holloway's voice in my head. Times physics doesn't give a damn. Shake it off. We're almost there. We touch down, grab the samples, take the photos, and descend. We have plenty of margin. 700 meters. The bottom comes into view. Ghostly pale crabs, black rocks, towering vent chimneys spewing superheated water. It's alien and terrifying and majestic. Bridge, this is Siren. We have reached the target zone. Static. Bridge, copy? More static. Then a faint voice. Ren, copy, signal, weak. Acoustic telemetry is struggling. Okay, team, let's work fast. I maneuver toward a vent. Chloe, get the footage. Maya, engage the manipulator arm for samples. Maya grabs the controller for the robotic arm. She's practiced this in the simulator for weeks. She moves the joystick. Nothing happens. It's not responding. Check the hydraulic pressure. She taps the screen. Hydraulics are frozen. The fluid viscosity is too high. Holloway had suggested a special Arctic-grade hydraulic fluid. I had stuck with the eco-friendly biodegradable blend. Because the Arctic fluid was toxic to marine life in event of a spill. Well, it's not spilling. It's turning into jelly in the lines. Try to cycle the pump. I order. Maya tries. Times WHIR clunk. The arm twitches, then slams into a rock. The sub shudders. We are pinned against the vent chimney. Back us out, Ares says, voice rising an octave. I pull back on the joystick. Thrusters spin. We don't move. We're snagged, I say. The arm is wedged in the rock formation. Jettison the arm, Ares says. There's an emergency release bolt. Right. I look for the switch. It's a physical toggle. Under a safety cover. I flip it. Nothing. Why isn't it releasing? Ares consults her tablet. The explosive bolts need an electrical charge to fire. If the battery voltage is sagging due to the cold, they might not have enough amperage to detonate. Silence in the sphere. Just the hum of the scrubbers and our breathing. Battery at 40%, I announce. We need to preserve power. Bridge, this is Siren. We are fouled. Manipulator arm stuck. Release mechanism failing. Requesting assistance. Silence. Then, a different voice cuts through the static. Clear, calm, deep. Siren, this is Holloway. I'm on the headset. My stomach drops. Shame washes over me. But also relief. Huge, pathetic relief. Jack, we're stuck. Arm won't jettison. I know, he says. I'm looking at your telemetry, your bleeding power. Your hydraulic fluid turned to slush, didn't it? Yes. And you didn't swap the explosive bolt igniters for the low-temp variants. I thought the standard ones were sufficient. Right, he says. No, I told you so. Just facts. Listen to me carefully. You have about 4 hours of life support if you panic. 6 if you stay calm. The force iron is heavy. You can't thruster your way out. What do we do? Maya is crying softly. You have to manual override the hydraulic bypass valve to bleed the pressure. That will make the arm go limp. Then you use the variable ballast to blow the tanks and rock it up. The arm will tear off. Where is the bypass valve? It's under the floor panel beneath the pilot's seat. You'll need the 14mm socket wrench. I look at the floor. Carpeted for aesthetics. I rip up the carpet. There's the access panel. Okay, panel open. I see a manifold. Good. Now where is the toolkit? I look at Ares. Ares looks at Chloe. We took out the heavy toolkit to save weight for the extra camera gear, Chloe whispers. We have the mini kit though, I say frantically. The IKEA-style one. Does it have a 14mm socket? Holloway asks. I open the small plastic box. Screwdrivers, Allen keys, a small adjustable wrench. No socket, just an adjustable wrench. That manifold is recessed, Holloway says. An adjustable wrench won't fit. You need a socket. Silence again. The crushing reality of the ocean presses in. 700 meters of water. Okay, Holloway says. Plan B, you're going to have to short the battery directly to the bolt igniters. Bypass the safety regulator. That sounds dangerous, Ares says. It is, Holloway replies. You could fry the main bus and lose all power. Then you freeze to death in the dark. Or you stay there and suffocate. Your call, Commander. I look at the team. Maya is hyperventilating. Chloe is recording a goodbye video to her mom. Ares is staring at the wall, muttering equations. I am the leader. I put them here. Tell me what to do, Jack. You need to access the main breaker panel behind the rear screen. Pull the thick red cable. That's the raw feed from the battery. You need to touch it to the aux4 terminal. That's the arm jettison line. I'm not an electrician, I say, hands shaking. You don't need to be. You just need to complete a circuit. But listen, Sarah. The moment you touch that wire, the arc is going to be massive. Use something insulated to hold it. And for God's sake, don't ground yourself. I unbuckle. Crawl to the back. Pry off the screen panel. Thick cables, pulsing with the last life of the sub. I see the red cable. Okay. Strip the insulation off the end. Use the scissors from the medical kit. I do it. Sparks fly. Okay, stripped. Locate aux 4. It should be labeled. I see it. On my mark, jam it against the terminal. Hold it for 2 seconds. The bolts will blow. You will feel a kick. Immediately drop the wire and hit the emergency ballast blow on the dash. Do not hesitate. Understood. I wrap my sleeve around my hand. Grab the cable. Ready? Do it, now. I shove the cable onto the terminal. Times CRAC-ZCT time. Blinding white light. Ozone smell. The sub jolts violently. A dull thud outside. Arm is clear, Eris screams. I scramble back to the pilot seat. Slam the big red button. Ballast blow. Times. Hiss. Compressed air forces water out of the tanks. The sub groans. Tilts up. And we start to move. Ascent rate 2 meters per second. Eris calls out. Accelerating. Bridge, this is Siren. We are free. Ascending. Copy that, Siren, Holloway says. We're tracking you. Watch your ascent rate. Don't come up too fast, or the nitrogen in the hull composite will expand and delaminate the layers. You said carbon fiber doesn't get the bends, I yell. I said steel doesn't. You have a porous matrix. Slow it down. Vent air if you have to. I feather the valves. Slowing our ascent. Longest 2 hours of my life. Battery dies at 400 meters. Total darkness. Just the bioluminescence of jellyfish outside. And the sound of Chloe sobbing. We breach. Bobbing in the rough Atlantic swell. The hatch pops open. Cold, fresh air. Searchlights from the Colaris twined blind us. We are towed in. Hoisted onto the deck. I climb out, legs like jelly. The deck crew is there. Silent. No cheering. Just solemn faces. Holloway is standing by the winch. Arms crossed. Wearing a thick wool sweater. He looks at the asterisk Siren. The manipulator arm is gone. The hull has visible stress fractures. The beautiful paint job is scarred. He looks at me. I wait for it. I wait for him to tear me apart in front of everyone. Get them to the medical bay, he says to the medic. Check for hypothermia and shock. He walks past me to inspect the sub. Jack, I say, voice weak. He stops. Doesn't turn around. We got the samples. I lie, we didn't. The arm is at the bottom of the ocean. Go to medbay, Sarah, he says quietly. Next morning. Sitting in the ship's office. Satellite call with Julian, CEO. Sarah, I'm hearing mixed reports. Did we complete the objective? We encountered unforeseen technical anomalies due to extreme environmental conditions. We had to abort the sampling phase to prioritize crew safety. So no rare earth samples? No. And the submersible? Holloway sent a report saying the hull is compromised. Total loss. That's a $12 million asset. The structural integrity was insufficient for the variable currents. Insufficient? You signed the safety override, Sarah. You certified it. Silence. Look, Julian, the narrative here is survival. An all-female crew faced disaster and brought the ship home. It's an Apollo 13 moment. It's inspiring. Julian pauses. The shareholders don't want Apollo 13. They want the mineral rights. We're recalling the expedition. The Tonka Polaris returns to port. And Sarah? Yes? We're moving you. Lateral transfer. To where? VP of Brand Partnerships. You're good at spinning stories. Stick to that. Leave the water to the people who respect it. Click. Walk out on deck. Holloway is smoking a cigarette, leaning on the rail. Watching the gray ocean. I stand next to him. You saved our lives, I say. He takes a drag. I did my job. I should have listened about the hydraulics. Yep. And the batteries. Yep. And the toolkit. He flicks the cigarette into the waves. The ocean is a harsh teacher, Sarah. It doesn't care about your pronouns, your quotas, or your press release. It only cares about competence. You disrespect it, it kills you. He turns to leave. By the way, he says, Julian put me back in charge for the next window in spring. I'm taking an all-male crew? I ask, bitterness creeping in. He laughs, a dry barking sound. No, I'm taking the best divers and engineers I have. 3 men, 2 women, the ones who know how to use a socket wrench. Aris and Maya? Aris is going back to teaching. Maya, she has potential. If she spends a year in the simulator and learns how to change her own oil, I might take her. He opens the hatch. Enjoy your desk job, Sarah. Door clangs shut. Be me. 2 weeks later. Sitting in a glass office in San Francisco. VP of Brand Partnerships. Scrolling LinkedIn. See a post from Blue Horizon. Project Aethelgard, Phase 2, announced, led by veteran Commander Jackson Halloway. Picture of the new crew. Grimy, tired, holding wrenches, covered in grease. One of them is a woman, looking tough as nails. 200 likes. I open a new draft. Reflecting on my journey as a pioneer in deep-sea exploration, type 3 paragraphs about resilience and shattering glass ceilings. Delete it. Delete it all. Look at the "Nevertheless, she persisted" sticker. Peel it off. Toss it in the trash. Open the spreadsheet for the new influencer marketing campaign. Safe, dry, warm, meaningless. Just the way I made it.